Hi, this is Quek Bin from the Singapore Association of the Visually Handicapped, and I'm here to show you how you might be able to configure settings in your computer so that somebody with low vision might be able to view the screen on the computer more easily. Right, so right now I've got this laptop connected to a TV screen with and also connected to a USB keyboard, so that's easier for me to work with. I've also got a software installed on this computer which will tell me what's happening on the screen because I'm visually impaired myself and I have a lot of trouble using the mouse, so I prefer to do everything using the keyboard. You don't have to do anything using the keyboard the way I do. You can do it using the mouse, right? But I'm doing it this way, right? So first of all, let's make the background of the desktop something simple so that all these pictures and images won't distract somebody with low vision from seeing the screen more clearly. Right, so there are various ways of doing it. The way I'm going to do this is to use the start menu.
Start menu.
Right,
search box, edit search programs and files.
Right, so there's the software talking to me, so that it's easier for me to use. Right, so the camera can focus on the screen from now on. Right, so the easiest way to change for me is right now what we're changing is the background. So I type background.
BACKGR control panel grouping expanded. Change desktop background.
Right, so you can see I just have to type back in a GR, then this option will come up, then I can press enter. Right, of course, somebody using a mouse can click on the option up there, but it's already highlighted, so I can press enter straight away.
Taskbar desktop background. Picture location.
Right, so now we're here. So we want to change this item here to solid colors.
F solid colors.
Okay, for me again I use my keyboard. You can use your mouse, click here and then do all that. So you can do things like
move to focus. Picture location combo box solid colors collapsed.
Oh well, never mind. Okay, so this is solid.
Browse. Photo list, view list, select the photo
so we can click this one here.
Set as your back list item.
So this is what I've done here. I use my keyboard to move the focus here. Right, and you can see the background change. Right, so what I'm demonstrating here is only for Windows 7 computers. It's not quite the same for other versions. Okay, then now this is what I want. I press enter.
Taskbar.
Right, of course, if you're using mouse, you click. So now the background is black. For me and for a lot of other low vision users like me, a black background is easier to see. First of all, not so much glare. And secondly, the mouse pointer will show up more easily. Right, speaking of which, the next thing we're going to change is the way the mouse pointer works. Right, so the way it looks. Okay, so for a lot of us, we always have a lot of trouble looking for the mouse. Right, so there are things we can do with any computer to make the mouse pointer, meaning the arrow, easier to see. Right, so again, I use the keyboard to do this.
Start menu.
I open the start menu.
Search box, edit search pro.
You can use your mouse to click on the start button, right? So the fastest way to get to the option is to type
POINTR space L control panel grouping expanded. Change how the mouse pointer looks.
Okay, pointer space L. In other words, it's the keyword pointer looks.
Mouse properties dialog.
So now we are here in the mouse pointer settings. This is what they call pointer schemes. So there are different kinds of settings you can choose. You can, for starters, just enlarge the scheme. Again, we're clicking here. Right, so you use a mouse, I'll use a keyboard. So I'll just press my up arrow.
Windows arrow, large system, Windows arrow, extra large system.
So you notice the sample here, the arrows are larger. There are also other colors you can choose.
Magnified system scheme.
This is the one I prefer, right, because it's a white mouse with a black outline. So as far as I am concerned, in whatever color the background is, you will see a white arrow with a black background. To me, this is easiest, it stands out most clearly. But then there are other schemes which other people prefer.
Windows black large system, Windows black extra large system scheme.
A black arrow. Of course, a black arrow is going to have problems when you're using it against a black background. But some people prefer that. So of course that means you have to set your background to another color, not black.
Windows black, Windows inverted extra large
system. This is another common color theme which people like. Inverted. So the color of the arrow will be the opposite color of the background. But this also means that if let's say the background is blue, your arrow is not going to be black, it's going to be some other color. Like this one here. Right? If it's a white background, the black will show up very easily. If it's a black background, the mouse will become white. So again, those will be very easy to see. Right? Depending on your preference. Okay, so for me,
non-magnified system
this is what I prefer. Right, then I click on apply. So again, I use the keyboard. Right, so now it's applied. Then the next thing I do is go to this thing here.
Pointer options, property
Pointer
page,
options.
slope.
There's something up here
Motion,
called pointer
grouping,
options, I
select the
think.
point.
Right? So to make the mouse easier to see, there are a couple of things. One is called the mouse pointer trail.
In hand, snap to visibility, grouping. Display pointer trail, checkbox not checked out.
If you choose this, there will be a shadow as you move your mouse again, so that you can see the arrow. So you can click on this checkbox.
Space, checked.
Okay, so now as I move the mouse,
Desktop, can't book, desktop.
you'll notice a bit of a shadow. Right, you can extend the mouse pointer trail, as they call
Long
it.
slider 100.
Right, but this is already 100%. So for me, I find that this is not that helpful, but some people will still prefer this better than nothing. Right, then there's this other option here.
Hide, pointer, while, show location,
Okay, this
pointer
one.
when I press the control key checkbox.
So when you press the control key for this option, I'm going to select it first.
Space,
Okay,
check.
so now that this is selected, when you press the control key, you will see a ripple pattern come out from the point of the pointer. So now if you look at this arrow here now, right? So when I press the control one time, okay, so I have to keep on pressing control. Right, you can hear me pressing the key. Each time I press it once, then something will come out from the pointer. So this helps again. This will help some low vision users to locate the arrow. Right? But of course, this means you have to keep pressing your control if you want to see it more. If you take time to look for it, right? Better than nothing, and something you can do with the computer. Again, all these are
Motion, grouping, so
all these are built into the system for Windows 7, and in fact for Windows Vista and Windows XP. These mouse pointer options work more or less the same way. Of course, the way you locate your mouse pointer settings will not be as straightforward as for Windows 7, right? But the options are the same.
in hand, snap to tap control, cancel, OK. Desktop list.
Right, then the next thing to do, there's this thing called the magnifier, which is built into the Windows 7. There is something called the magnifier in Windows Vista and Windows XP, but in my opinion, they're not that good. Right, so again, it's easier to turn on the magnifier in Windows 7 as compared to Windows Vista and Windows XP. Right, so I'm going to show you two methods depending on what you like. Right, again, start from the start menu. This is the first method.
Start menu.
And just type
Search bar MAGNI programs grouping expanded.
and you see
Magnifier.
magnifier. And if I press enter, I'll turn on magnifier. Okay, so this is the enlarged version. Right, again, now I can turn off magnifier for you.
Icon. Taskbar.
Right, so magnifier is now turned off. Again, I'm doing everything using the keyboard. You can use your mouse to click all the necessary parts. Right, this is another way of turning on magnifier. I use the keyboard for this. You can't use your mouse for this very well. I don't think so. Right, so the way to turn on magnifier using the keyboard. Okay, the camera will have to focus on the keyboard now. Right, I'm going to use this key. This is the Windows key. This is the key I use to open the start menu. And over here on the right side, this is what we call the number pad. This is the number pad plus. Right, so again, we're going to use these two keys. I hold down the start menu key and press this plus. And you see the magnifier appearing. Okay, repeat that.
Icon. Taskbar.
Right, so magnifier is turned off. Once I press my Windows and my number pad plus, you see the magnifier turn on. Okay, one thing to note, there are three modes to the magnifier. What we have here right now is the full screen mode.
Recycle.
As in, the full screen is a magnified version of one part of the normal computer screen. Okay. The magnifier comes in another two modes. One is called the lens mode. I'm going to turn it on for you. You can do this using the mouse, right? Okay, so this is the lens mode.
8 desktop. 8 desktop.
Okay, if you notice,
Computer.
it's like moving a lens around the screen. The area around the mouse will be the magnified area.
Canon MP.
You can also change how much magnification there is. Alright, this is increased magnification.
iTunes.
This is reduce. Right?
Desktop.
This is lens view. Then there's another one called a dot view. Okay, this is the dot view. Essentially what a dot view is, the top part of the screen is a magnified version of what is around the mouse. So as I move my mouse,
VLC. It can even the IT desktop.
right, so now the mouse is here. If I move over, right,
Install Windows Desktop. Install Windows.
and if you look, this is the magnified version of what is around the mouse. Okay, so again, you can increase the magnification.
Desktop. XAMPP Desktop. Install Windows.
Right, so this is actually the default view. So when you first turn on your magnifier, you will get this. Another thing to note,
Desktop.
there are some settings inside a computer which will interfere with how magnifier works. I'm not able to figure out all the settings and factors which interfere with magnifier, but one very common and important thing is this thing called the NVIDIA control panel. There are some shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts, which interfere with whether magnifier can be switched on to different modes. Right? I've noticed that once you disable the hotkeys for this, the magnifier can be switched over to the full screen, the lens view, and so on. Right? In my opinion, the full screen is important, but once these graphics things are enabled, they sort of prevent the magnifier from going to full screen, so it's important to turn this off. Right, so the easiest way for somebody using a mouse to do this is you right click on the empty space in the desktop, as I'm doing now,
Desktop context menu.
and you choose
Screen gadgets. Personalize. Screen resolution. New NVIDIA control panel. Graphics options menu.
graphic options,
Hotkeys menu.
hotkeys, and you choose disabled, which is this selected now. Okay, right, so you notice disable is selected now. Okay, normally you will probably see it enabled selected, there'll be a tick beside enabled, so I usually choose disabled. So once you select disabled, usually that will take care of the magnifier problem.
Graphics option. Desktop list.
Right,
Desktop.
so okay, I've been using the keyboard to do my zoom in and zoom out. Okay, let's switch back to full screen. Right, okay, if you will look at what my keyboard again, right, so as I press, okay, let's move this to somewhere where you can see some words.
Taskbar. Desktop.
Right, so as I press Windows and plus, I will zoom in, magnification increases. Okay, if I press Windows and minus, again this is the number pad minus key at the corner here. So Windows minus, I'll zoom out. To me, this is easier than using the mouse. But the other option is to go, right, so once the magnifier is up there,
Task magnifier.
you can click on the plus to zoom in.
Magnifier.
Right,
Zoom out
in.
buttons. 400. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in button. Zoom in.
And you can see the magnification level go up. 600, and so on. Okay, if you click on the
Zoom out to
minus,
desktop. Zoom out. Zoom out.
right,
Zoom
so
out
if you
to
click on the
rotate.
minus,
Zoom out button.
right, so this is simple how to zoom in and zoom out. There are other options which you can explore, but I guess I
Zoom
won't
300. Desktop.
I won't be going through those in this demonstration, right? But I feel like this is some of the basic things
Desktop.
that you can do with your computer to help you see the screen better.
LVE Find QuickTime
Right.
Player.
That's it for this demo. Thanks for watching.